is Girija and I'm a 4th year MBBS student. I study in China, but right now I'm in India because of the whole pandemic situation. Today I thought of making a video about 5 mistakes that you should avoid during your first year of MBBS. All the information that I'm going to provide in today's video is based on my personal experience. And I hope you enjoy watching it. So keep watching the video till the end. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing it and keep watching the video. Beginning with the first mistake that some of us might have made in our first year of MBBS, or some of you might make if you're about to start your first year, is ignoring or not paying proper attention to the preclinical subjects that are anatomy, physiology, or biochemistry. So these are the 3 most important subjects that we have in our first year. And when we escape out of our 11th or 12th grade zones or junior college and enter our university or med school, we might get too involved in exploring the new place and new people and everything. But this might turn out to be a very big nightmare before exams, or when you reach your 3rd or 4th year, or you start preparing for your PG entrance examinations. Because if you are not clear with your basics, dude, you're going to struggle a lot. And just relying on IMPs, ignoring the textbooks throughout the year, and reading from random notes is a terrible mistake that you should definitely avoid making. Another point is studying just for a month or 2 before examinations to just score good marks or passing marks might get you through the exam, but the basic knowledge that you will be missing out on is going to be a very big loss for you. Because when you get subjects like surgery, pathology, and medicine, if you are not clear with your basics, you are going to suffer a lot and you will have difficulty in understanding these subjects, which are very important for your medical career. So this is about the first mistake that you should avoid making, that is ignoring or not paying attention or not studying the basic preclinical subjects thoroughly. Now let's move on to the mistake number 2. So this one consists of 2 points, which are both very closely related to the first mistake that I just talked about. So point number 1 is not revising, and point number 2 is not solving enough questions. So not revising what you have studied is a very huge mistake. Now, when you study everything very correctly and very thoroughly, you go through textbooks and everything, if you don't revise your concepts and the material that you have studied, you are more likely to forget it in future, and those things that you forget might be important key concepts or important stuff that you need to remember. For example, biochemistry according to me is a very volatile subject, and I studied biochemistry and I did not revise it enough, which was a big mistake from my side. And when I had the subject pharmacology and I began preparing for it and studying it, I encountered a lot of difficulties. So I realized that all the cascades and cycles that I had studied in biochemistry had vanished away from my mind because I did not revise it enough. So for understanding pharmacology, I had no other option than going back to biochemistry, starting from square one and revising everything again. So do not make this mistake, avoid making it. And this is not just applicable to the first year subjects. This is applicable to every subject and any course that you're studying for. So revision is the key factor to build your concepts and understand the subject deeply. So this was point number 1. Now let's move on to point number 2. So this point is about making the mistake of not solving enough questions. Just keeping on reading information or memorizing stuff is not as effective when we compare it with a studying pattern which includes solving questions as an equally important activity, just like studying from textbooks or from lectures, etc. When we sit for solving questions, most of us have a common thought process that goes like, I'll start solving questions once I'm done with the entire subject. And this is exactly where we make the mistake. Solving topic-wise questions is very important, and it gives you a clear impression of how well you have understood the certain topic. When we solve questions and we come across certain difficulties or we are unable to solve certain type of questions, it pinpoints where exactly we need to pay more attention to, and this is what helps us in concept building. Also, when we make mistakes while solving questions and when we go through the concept again, it helps us to avoid mistakes in our exams or any time in future. So solving questions is a really important thing that we need to pay attention to. So revising your syllabus and solving questions are both a very important key factor to building great concepts. I will also be providing a picture of the famous forgetting curve, which clearly shows how we tend to forget certain information, and this explains the importance and impact that revision has upon our minds. So that was about mistake number 2. Now let's move on and discuss mistake number 3 that we might make during our MBBS journey. Mistake number 3 is about being influenced by negative peer pressure and overthinking about what others say and think of us. If at all you are a person who gets affected by the negativity of peer pressure and you are trying to be someone that you're not, or you are trying to portray a fake image of yourself, trust me, this is not only going to distract you from your primary goals of studying, but it will also affect your mental health in a very negative manner. So staying close to your loved ones, being who you truly are, and loving yourself is very important, because it will boost your confidence and it will keep you close to reaching your goals. Most of us are in protected environments when we are at our homes. But when we leave our home for education or for jobs, etc., we are exposed to the world and variety of people. When we go to our universities in our first year, we meet people from different places with different backgrounds, different thought processes, and different behaviors. So choosing your circle wisely and adapting to the change is very important. Some of the people find it very difficult to adapt to these changes, while some of them find it very easy. Choosing your circle is very crucial and very important. When you overthink about what others say or others think about you, it only brings in anxiety, or it brings in certain kind of pressure and distraction, because it is not fruitful at all. Also, when you try to be a people pleaser all the time, or when you try to be someone you're not, trust me, it is not going to help you in any way. Being yourself, loving yourself, focusing on your goals, choosing your circle wisely, and focusing on a positive attitude by neglecting the negativity of peer pressure, and most importantly, learning to say no, are few things that will help you a lot if you try to apply them since the beginning of your first year. I wish I would have learned these things earlier, because trust me, it would have made my first year much easier and happier. But improving yourself and learning from past mistakes is always beneficial. So yeah, that's about mistake number 3. So do not be influenced by negative peer pressure or fake people, because most of us are in the teenage or young adult zones when we enter our first year. And if you are not confident with your personality or with your opinions, it is very easy for you to get influenced due to all these negative things. So keeping yourself away from them, having a positive mindset, focusing towards your goals, and managing everything is really important. That brings me to the end of mistake number 3, and now we shall discuss mistake number 4. So mistake number 4 is not taking enough breaks when needed and not making time for recreation. Now, taking breaks and doing something that you like is something that will boost your productivity, make you feel happy, and it will also help you to increase your focus on your studies as well. Making time for your hobbies will help you get relaxation, and it will help you getting a change from the daily routine if at all it becomes monotonous. Now, I personally love writing poems and I enjoy creative writing as well. But when I went to China, I did not even realize it that I had stopped writing and doing things that I love or pursuing my hobbies for more than a year. I realized it when I was at my home in lockdown, and it just made me realize how happy I am when I make time for myself and my hobbies. So, making time for your hobbies is really a game changer. I personally enjoy watching interviews, writing poems, reading various kinds of books, creative writing, drawing, etc., and playing badminton as well. So, except for the badminton part, I have missed out on all my other hobbies. But if I would have, you know, paid more attention to them or taken at least a little time out of my schedules for my hobbies, I think it would have benefited me in various ways. So, take breaks, make time for yourself by maintaining a proper study schedule as well, because that will improve a lot of things for you. And developing hobbies that keep you physically fit and mentally happy and at peace is very, very important. I'm going to make a separate videos on different types of hobbies and what benefits you can get out of them super soon. And if you have any other ideas as well, please feel free and comment down below about what else you want to watch. So coming back to the hobbies part, earlier I was skeptical about it by, thoughts like if I participate in co-curricular activities or if I just pay more attention to my hobbies, it will take me away from my studies. But there are some of my seniors who have turned out to be inspirations for me in this part, because few of my seniors are really passionate about dancing and they are into sports, etc. And they participate in all the multicultural fests or sports activities whenever possible, and they are still at their A game in academics. So, if you strike a balance perfectly, you can do everything. So, that brings me to the point, mistake number 5, and that is not striking a balance. When you do everything in proportion, everything is possible. So, what you do every single day is what defines your future. So, learning to chalk out at least a rough plan for your day and working accordingly will help you a lot. I could have used the time in my first year of university really well if I would have planned my schedules for the day, and I would have invested my time in working on myself rather than wasting n number of hours doing stuff that was not a compulsion or wasn't necessary, or hanging out for n number of hours, because that is clearly a perfect waste of time. So working on yourself is working for your future goals. So when you plan your schedules, your life becomes more organized and it becomes much easier for you to deal with all the stuff. And when I was in China, I did not have a perfect sleep schedule, which messed up a lot of things for me. So that made me realize that how important it is to have specific time zones for your sleep, for your hobbies, for your studies, for other stuff that you need to do. And having a flexible schedule really, really helps a lot. When I started doing online classes at home during the pandemic, I realized the importance of having a schedule. You just think of the time when you were a kid and you used to go to school. We had a perfect schedule in school. We used to come home and still find enough time for going outside, playing, and our study time would still remain intact. So that specific example is what hit me the most, and it was like, yeah, this is why I need a schedule. And the day since I started planning out and chalking out everything for myself, trust me, it has worked wonders for me. So striking a balance is really important. Overdoing any activity or anything will always lead to a loss. So maintaining a balance, whether it's your studies, your hobbies, your co-curricular activities, or the other important responsibilities that you need to work on, you can do everything perfectly if you strike a balance. So maintaining balance is very, very important. And when you don't do it, or when you lose balance, that's a mistake basically, because in first year you have ample amount of time to work on your skills, to work on your basics, to work on everything. So these are the 5 major mistakes that people tend to make during MBBS first year, and I have personally learned a lot from my journey. Everyone has a different journey, everyone has different opinions and thoughts. These were mine, and I would love to listen and know about your journeys as well. So if you have interesting stories about your first year or something that you learned during your MBBS journey, kindly feel free to mention it in the comment section below, or you can also text me on Instagram, which I'll be mentioning right here. So get in touch, and I really hope that you like this video. Kindly share it with all your fellow med school students who might feel relatable with this one. And you can also share it with the upcoming doctors or the ones who will be joining med school this year after their NEET examinations. So please share it with your friends and consider subscribing to my channel. But most importantly, thank you so much for watching this video till here and sticking till the end. And please subscribe to my channel because it will help a lot. And don't forget to fill your cup with